Finally, Halloween Ends is in theaters and on Peacock, and it has seemingly divided the fan base. You either hate it or you love it in most instances. Now, I've had the opportunity to watch it twice, once in the theater and once on Peacock, and it is time for me to re-rank the Halloween franchise to include Halloween Ends. Now, in preparation for this video, there's a few things I did or didn't do. I did not view my previous Halloween ranking. I obviously remember some of it, but I don't remember every single thing about that ranking because I wanted to come into this clear-headed. I wanted to have a different opinion if I needed to have a different opinion. And of course, I rewatched all the Halloween movies. Now, typically what I would do is start with Halloween 1978 and work my way up to seeing Halloween Ends in the theater. Well, of course, I ended with Halloween Ends, but I actually started in a different way. I started this with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, then I watched the Rob Zombie movies, then I watched 4, 5, and 6, then I watched 7 and 8, and then made my way to the 78, 2018 Halloween Kills, and then, of course, Halloween Ends, to try to have a different opinion and have maybe more of appreciation for other films, such as the Season of the Witch movie and the Rob Zombie movies. So that's why I did that, and I gave myself lots of time to do this. I didn't give myself like 2 weeks to get through all these movies. I started this rewatching all these movies on September 10th. Of course, now it is, at the time of this recording, it's October 14th. I gave myself plenty of time to watch these movies. If I was having a hard time getting through it, I would have a day or two more to try to get through it. So to try to get a different opinion, if I do have one, which there are some changes, I know that for sure. I don't know exactly what changed, but I know there are some changes with this ranking. So this should be fun. Obviously, this goes without saying, we are going to disagree. Not everybody has the same opinion. Some people like Halloween Ends. Some people do not. Some people love the original Halloween. Some people, while loving it, it's not their favorite Halloween movie. So keep in mind, we are going to disagree. What you need to do is leave your ranking down in the comments section so I know kind of where you're coming from. If you want to do all 13 films, that's what would be preferred. But if you only want to do your top 5 or top 10, I understand some of the films aren't worth talking about sometimes. And I should let everybody know that Halloween is one of my favorite horror movie franchises. I like Scream. That's probably my number 1. My number 2 flip-flops between Saw and Friday the 13th. And then whatever one isn't number 2 would be number 3. And then Halloween is most likely number 4. At times I do like it more than Friday the 13th, but I would say Friday the 13th is my favorite out of those two because it's the first franchise that I remember watching. I went to see Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, in the theaters in 1984. So that just aged me a little bit there. So that's where I'm coming from on this. And then real quick, in addition to leaving your ranking down in the comment section, if you're a Halloween fan, smash the like button. And you're watching the video anyway, so don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. So let's start this ranking off. I don't know how much into detail I'll go about some things. I'll tell you why I'll point one good thing out about the film, at least. For some, it's hard to do that, and then I'll tell you reasons why I didn't like the movie. But this is no change. Coming in last place, number 13 for me, Halloween Resurrection. I think Halloween Resurrection was a little ahead of its time with the whole streaming aspect of it. But this movie just doesn't entertain me. Now, some people say it's a fun movie to watch. Even though it sucks, it's fun. To me, I hate it. Obviously, Freddy, he pisses me off in the movie. Trick or treat, motherfucker. You better turn around and get going. It's just the way he talks to Michael Myers and Michael Myers takes it. Are you kidding me? And really, the characters in this movie aren't really memorable. Like, I don't even remember the main character, the female character's name. I know she's played by Bianca something. That might not even be right either. The best character in this movie was the guy with the leather jacket, and they killed him pretty early on in the movie. They kill off Laurie Strode, which I guess that's what she wanted, Jamie Lee Curtis, but I don't know. It seems like they could have had another movie in between H2O and Halloween Resurrection to see why she's in the loony bin of sorts. just my hunch or my take on things. But I don't like Howard. I was gonna say Howard. I don't like Halloween Resurrection at all. I remember when I first saw it in 2002 that I enjoyed it to a degree, but there's so many flaws with the movie. It was a good idea, but it was just a little bit ahead of its time, and that's why I put Halloween Resurrection as my number 13. My number 12, unfortunately, is a movie that I know was a lot higher, and it keeps going down and down my ranking list. And unfortunately, that's going to be Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. I'm a huge fan of Danielle Harris, but this movie is awful. Now, good things about this movie. I like the poster or the cover box for it. There's not a lot of good things about Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Just so many flaws. First of all, you have Jamie Lloyd, who's mostly mute in the movie. You have a crazy Dr. Loomis, who's borderline psychotic in this movie. They kill off Rachel in this movie. You have Tina in this movie, who I can't stand. Bump-a-dum, bump-a-dum. You have the goofy, dorky cops in this movie. At least they get killed. You have the Myers mask in this movie. Looks absolutely terrible. And unfortunately, I just don't like the movie anymore. I used to like it. But the more I watch it, the more I see the flaws in the movie. And I'm surprised it's not number 13, honestly. I guess there's no character like Freddy to, tell off Michael Myers and say, trick or treat, motherfucker, and do karate kicks. I don't know. But unfortunately, I hate to say it, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, is my number 12. Number 11 for me. I don't remember where this was last time. This one kind of goes up and down, up and down. It's like a roller coaster. But it's going to be Halloween 2007. Rob Zombie's Halloween. I like some of the aspects of this. I know a lot of people don't like the whole, Michael as a kid to a teenager, the build up and the long, drawn out, boring parts. But I kind of like that. I like the relationship that you don't really see a lot of it, that he develops with Danny Trejo. I was good to you. I think that's good. I think the stuff with Loomis was okay. We don't get a lot of it, but I just found that interesting. Now, a lot of people think the Rob Zombie dialogue is cringeworthy. Okay, to a degree, yes, but it didn't bother me as much. What bothers me is the whole final act of this movie. I just don't get interested by it. A lot of times, I start to fall asleep during the final act of this movie when Michael's chasing Laurie, and then the ending is supposed to be, that's it, we're done. But then they wanted Rob Zombie to do another one. So I just don't like that. Obviously, I like the fact that they brought back Danielle Harris, although she plays Anne Brackett in this one. But it's not interesting. And then she almost is killed off in the movie, which sucks. She's topless, which is a plus, I guess, for some people. And I don't know. The whole end of the movie just bothers me. I don't know why, because a lot of people like the end and hate the beginning and middle. But me, personally, I just find the movie not that interesting to me. Again, my opinion, we can disagree, but Halloween 2007 is going to be my number 11. Here is a surprise. This one has moved up at least one spot, if not two spots. I don't remember exactly how many spots it's moved up, but my number 10 is going to be Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, I've always not liked this movie simply because it's not a movie with Michael Myers, other than the fact that they're watching Halloween in the movie, but Michael Myers isn't in the movie. But if you watch it just as if you just watch it as Season of the Witch and forget the fact that it says Halloween before it, it's actually kind of a crazy movie. It's cheesy to a degree, but you have a ruthless villain in this, Conal Cochran, who wants to kill kids with these Halloween masks and this annoying song, the Silver Shamrock. Doo, 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 doo. I don't know. It's not a movie that I probably want to watch many times, but I know it's a good movie if it wasn't in the Halloween franchise, and I actually made it through this last rewatch of it without doing something else, without dozing off, and I appreciate it just a little bit more. So at the moment, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, is my number 10. One thing I forgot to mention about Halloween 2007, I have an issue with Michael Myers. Tyler Mane plays a great Michael Myers, but in Halloween 2007, parts of the movie, it seems like he doesn't know if he wants to be Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, and this is the only time that I've ever noticed that, but I just seemed like he was hesitant to do things the right way as Michael Myers. He's a great Michael Myers, badass as hell, but just seemed like he didn't know what character to be. I don't know, maybe I just didn't see things right, but that's what I noticed in my most recent rewatch. And then, like Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, I have another Halloween movie that continues to move up my ranking. It used to be my second least favorite Halloween movie, and now it comes in at number 9, and that would be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009. Now, I know the fan base is very divided behind this movie. They either love it or hate it, and most people tend to not like it that much, but I've come around a little bit on it, and I give that credit to Nick at the Lost River Drive-In. Check out his channel. A huge Halloween fanatic. Has like 6 copies of each Halloween movie, if not more. Has all the posters except for Halloween 4 and I think Resurrection, and obviously Ends, although he might have Ends already, but he's a huge Halloween fanatic. But he loves Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and it's his second favorite Halloween after the OG. So if you're a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, like a huge fan, Nick at the Lost River Drive-In is the way to go. But he's given me some appreciation for the film. Now, I'll say this. I've always liked a certain thing about this movie, and that would be the whole Laurie having a dream sequence. That whole scene is intense as shit, and I remember seeing that in the theater and be like, this movie's going to be fucking kick-ass. Now, obviously, after the dream sequence seen in the theater for the first time, I pretty much hated the movie from then on, but seeing that whole scene and Michael brutally killing that nurse, like stabbing her, how many times did he stab her? Like, God, it was close to 20 times, 19, 16 times or something like that. And honestly, I don't have any notes in front of me other than the actual ranking list. I don't have any, sticky notes or any tidbits from each movie. I'm just pulling everything by memory in case sometimes I go all over the place. That's why, but I've grown an appreciation for the movie in addition to the dream sequence. I think I used to be really, really annoyed with Laurie and her whole unicorn with Sherry Moon dreams and her finding out that she's related to Michael Myers thing. But the reason why Laurie goes crazy is she's experiencing PTSD, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And that, it's understandable now why she was the way she was. And then I also liked her relationship with Annie and Sheriff Brackett in this movie. I think they have a really good friendship. It wasn't long enough. Like, she went off on her own at a certain point, and then Annie was just kind of left alone to unfortunately die. And then the scene where Sheriff Brackett has to see her dead, heartbreaking as all hell. But like I said, I've grown an appreciation for the movie. I think the part where the person with the dog seeing Michael Myers without his mask on out in the woods being a hobo, and then like making Michael mad where he puts his mask back on and then brutally kills him, his friend, and his girlfriend. Fucking awesome. Now, a lot of people complain that Michael Myers doesn't wear the mask for a lot of the movie. Well, Tyler Mane is a badass Michael Myers, and I think he comes into the role in this movie a lot more than the OG Halloween from 2007. I shouldn't say the OG Halloween, because then you think I'm talking about the OG from 1978. But I can't help but not like this movie anymore, because it's pretty good if you consider all those things. And it would have been cool to get another one of those, but obviously they made it so there wouldn't be any more Halloween movies with those, at least in that Rob Zombie's world. And it's surprising that we even got a second one, because he didn't want to do another one. He wanted that one to be it, and that was it. But I do appreciate Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 for what it is now, and that's why it's my number 9. Well, I guess I should mention this since I haven't yet, but I assume since you're watching a Halloween franchise ranking video that you would know this, but there's going to be spoilers. I've watched all the Halloween movies. If you haven't, then I highly suggest that you don't watch this video any further to avoid those potential spoilers. Now, we've reached number 8, and I think here's where I might get a lot of people to disagree with me. I might not, but hey, remember we all have different opinions. Make sure you leave your ranking in the comments section. But I'm putting The New Kid on the Block at number 8, and that would be Halloween Ends. Truthfully, I really don't know what to make of this movie yet. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Upon a rewatch or two, it may move up, it may move down. Now, what I like about this movie, and this is a criticism from some people, is the third act. It's short, but I like the final fight scene between Laurie and Michael. I like that she's like stabbing him with knives and making him go deeper into that counter, and then uses the frying pan to help with that, then pushes the fridge on him, and then she slits his throat. Well, I think she stabbed him in the side first, then slit his throat, and just keeps cutting him. She stabbed him in the chest too, and then Michael's got her in a choke, and I think Laurie's about to die, and then Allison comes to save the day. I almost think that Michael and Laurie dying at the same time would have been better, possibly. I don't know. Because, I mean, Laurie is a 60-plus-year-old woman. Michael's a 60-plus-year-old man. Laurie shouldn't be really doing that well against Michael, truthfully, since Michael's made a few kills and, gained some more power. We'll talk about more about that. But I think it was all right. I think that was well done. And then, of course, the part where they take him to the junkyard and they put him in the wood chipper, the equivalent to whatever place the automobile counterpart would be. I don't know the termination or the exact term for it. And like what happens to his body after that. That was pretty cool, and I didn't expect that. So that I liked. Now, the promotion for this movie apparently let you know that Corey was going to be Michael Myers. And I kind of heard that, but I didn't really dig deep into it, so I wasn't prepared for something completely different than what we got in Kills and what we got in 2018. Now, what I thought would happen, there were questions in Halloween 2018. The main thing that they talked about was, we're going to get Michael to talk. We'll get him with Laurie. That'll make him talk. And then in Halloween Kills, it was like Michael just stares out the window. There's going to be something with this window. And then, of course, neither of those things are visited in Halloween Ends, and it's just a completely different movie. You have Corey. Michael apparently transfers his evil to Corey by looking in his eyes. Okay. Interesting. The whole relationship that quickly starts between Corey and Allison. Okay, it's okay. I would prefer something better for Allison, but it worked. I think it was cool, the opening for this movie of Corey, babysitting the kid. Okay, first of all, not to be politically incorrect here, but when does a 20-year-old guy babysit kids? And it's not necessarily a common thing anymore, but all right. But I think that was cool that you thought Michael Myers was going to be there, but it turns out that this kid dies because of an accident, and then like Corey's blamed for it. And, Michael looks into people's eyes to make them become evil. Since when does Michael want somebody to be on his side? I guess they kind of touched upon that in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, but they never, showed the degree of how that would happen. So it was a different take that I wasn't expecting. Now, I think they could have done more justice to certain characters. Namely, Lindsay Wallace was barely featured in the movie. She had, 2, 4, 3 scenes in the movie. She was slinging drinks at the bar. Okay, well, we need more of her. I think she should have been killed, personally, because, she should have been one of the final people in the movie with Allison and Laurie. Got to keep drinking the water. My throat gets extremely dry, and then it's hard for me to talk. So when you see me start, struggling to say things, that means my lips are super dry, so that's why I do that. I guess, Michael in the sewer, why is he just staying at the sewer? I don't know. I guess there's some, maybe more will come out about this movie soon that will make more sense of things. And I guess it makes sense to a degree. And I thought that woman, I don't remember her name, but that was stabbed with the fluorescent bulb in Halloween Kills, the fact that she was still alive when Michael was killing her husband, trying out the knives, I had a feeling, is he really going to let her, is he going to kill her, officially? Or is he just going to leave her alone now? And sure enough, she was in Halloween Ends, briefly. I guess the part that I'm kind of confused about So when Corey goes to Laurie Strode's place, and he is apparently going to attack her, and then she gets the upper hand, and then he's like, well, with Allison, no one's going to have her if I can't, and then stabs himself. I mean, he's laying there dead, right? He looked dead. He didn't have any movement, and then Michael shows up, and Michael goes to grab the knife, and all of a sudden Corey grabs the knife. Now, was Corey grabbing the knife to protect Laurie there, or was he grabbing the knife because he was alive again and wanted to kill Laurie Strode? Just a little thing that I'm confused about, and maybe all of you were like, no, you idiot, did you not pay attention to that? It happens. I don't know everything. I'll be the first to admit that. So that was something that I was kind of wondering about. A lot of people have overlooked it, but I don't know. I think the movie, I liked how it ended, even though some people complain about that, but I think it was, for what it was a good ending. It was just a unexpected, different movie than I was expecting, and maybe the pandemic had something to do with that, and it sounds like it did, but I'm putting Halloween Ends right now at number 8 with an asterisk. When I watch the movie a couple more times, and I don't know when that will be, I will do another Halloween ranking either next year around this time or in 2 years for sure, and we'll see where Halloween Ends is at that point. So Halloween Ends right now is my number 8. My number 7 is going to be a movie that tends to kind of stay in the middle, goes up and down a couple slots each time. Right now it's my number 7, as I said, and that would be Halloween H2O. I do like the ending of this movie, even though it was retconned in Halloween Resurrection, that clusterfuck of a movie. And I think it was badass that she just cuts his head off. That was pretty brutal. My question is, it seems like there should be another movie in between Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection. Just something they could maybe do with a different actress or something like that. I don't know. Probably not. I want to see a sequel to Halloween 4 or Halloween 5, possibly, and retcon the rest of it. That's my opinion. But Halloween H2O, the ending is great. I think the characters are, for the most part, are great. Josh Hartnett's great. Michelle Williams is great. The other couple, I don't remember their names, even though I just watched them. I think they're okay. LL Cool J, he has a limited role in this movie. I think LL Cool J could have been just as good as any other character, especially if he was given more time. My issue with this movie is Michael Myers. Well, I have many issues with the movie, but I still think it's in the middle. Michael Myers, all the masks, he doesn't look scary enough. You can see too much of his eyes. His eyes don't look dark. You can see like his white face. It's kind of annoying. And then, of course, the movie seems like a Scream movie because Kevin Williamson had his hands on it. The same soundtrack as Scream. It has the same flow as Scream. The same movie poster as Scream. It's not Scream, and it tried to be Scream. It tried to be like, okay, we're going to try to bank off Scream's success, or Scream 2's success, and I don't think it quite worked. But all in all, even though it has its flaws, and some parts aren't very scary, I still enjoy it. I don't know where it'll be on the next rewatch, but at the moment, Halloween H2O, or Halloween 20 years later, is my number 7. And my number 6, and some people may disagree with me on this, but I think this is confidently my number 6, and that would be Halloween 2018. Now, I think the movie, and I'm kind of jumping around now instead of just starting with what I liked about the movie, it does bore me to the beginning part. It's a little boring, but I think the movie throughout, if you consider the whole movie, is entertaining. Obviously, the dialogue, there are some dialogue issues with, peanut butter on my penis. Why did he have to say that? I don't know. But I do like everything from when Julian is getting babysit, and I don't remember the babysitter's name until the end. I think it's pretty good. The whole Sartain stuff, I did not obviously see that coming. I'm like, wait a minute, whoa. I think they should have brought in a Dr. Loomis character in this movie, somebody related to Dr. Loomis or something like that, just because that character is such a icon in a Halloween franchise. Except for the Rob Zombie ones, I do not like Malcolm McDowell, especially Halloween 2's Malcolm McDowell. He's just cringeworthy. I like the end. This could have been the end of the franchise. If they wanted to have it, well, at least until they rebooted or, had a sequel to a different movie, The ending is good. Laurie Strode is crazy, but confident crazy. Karen, I don't care for as much, but I don't know. Allison, you could see Allison possibly being a lead towards the end of this movie, and she's not given a lead role or one of the leads. I mean, she kind of is in Kills, but not Kills, Ends. I don't know, but I do like Halloween 2018 for the most part. I think it's enjoyable. Just some weird things. I don't think the doctor at the beginning, the one that shows Michael, like, well, he's turned around, but he's got Michael's mask. He is not dead in that bathroom scene. He is still, his eyes are still open. I'm surprised that they never brought his character back. Obviously, his partner, the chick, was obviously killed, but he technically was still alive, unless it was something that was in a deleted scene. But I like Halloween 2018, and that's why it comes in at my number 6. All these movies that are recent are making me fuck up the titles, but my number 5 is going to be Evil Dies Tonight. Halloween Kills. Now, going into Halloween Kills, I was like, okay, I want to see a badass Michael Myers movie. And Halloween Kills is a badass Michael Myers movie with really bad dialogue. Evil Dies Tonight. Evil Dies Tonight. This one's for Dr. Loomis. Evil Dies Tonight. Okay, aside from the Evil Dies Tonight stuff, I think the movie is really entertaining. And it takes the spotlight off of Laurie Strode to a degree and puts it on Karen and puts it on Allison and makes Cameron more likable, which in Halloween 2018, which I didn't even touch upon him, he is not likable at all, and he's very likable in Halloween Kills. And you have this scene that gives you more of a story to the 1978 Halloween, which makes it more interesting. You have Hawkins, shoot his partner by accident, and then Michael gets away, but he's not away. Loomis, they have him at gunpoint. They're going to beat him up, and then Hawkins actually saves Myers, and he is the cause of all this, he thinks, so he's living with this guilt. Other than the Evil Dies Tonight, I really don't have a problem. Okay, the other line I don't like, and I already said this, this is for, you're about to shoot Michael Myers, do you stop? This is for Dr. Loomis, and then you're out of bullets. Yeah, not smart. So, I like Halloween Kills. I think Michael Myers is a badass. This movie solidified James Jude Courtney, to me, being the best Michael Myers. Despite what people think about Tyler Mane, despite what people think about Nick Castle, I think this was a badass movie. And, I'm surprised the ending happened the way it did, because to me the ending seemed like a hallucination / dream sequence that I thought Ends was going to fix and Karen would be dead, at least not to start. But nope, they actually killed Karen and barely touched upon it in Ends, other than like a quick scene and Laurie mentioning that her daughter was killed and then showing the thing with her fingerprints on the wall, or the handprints. But I like Halloween Kills. I know it's not a popular opinion. Evil Dies Tonight, despite that, the other guy that doesn't look anything like Michael Myers, the short and stubby penguin looking dude that jumps to his death because of the mob. Okay, that was a little annoying, but other than that, and Evil Dies Tonight, and this is for Dr. Loomis, I actually enjoy Halloween Kills, and that's why it's my number 5, and I think it actually went down one spot from number 4. But my number 4 is a movie that I've always liked. I know it's either loved or hated, it seems like, in the Halloween franchise. You either have it in your bottom 3 or your top 5, it seems like. And for me, it's my number 4, and that would be Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I think this is a badass movie. While it's not as intense as Halloween Kills, but for its time, when it came out in 1995, I think it was pretty intense. Now, I don't really like Paul Rudd in the movie. I don't really like the main character. I can't even remember her name that much, but I don't hate her. She's just not as memorable as any, other final girls in the series, but I think the movie it looked great. The movie looks phenomenal. Michael Myers is brutal as brutal can be in 1995. I'm a little bit mad that they killed Jamie Lloyd, but it wasn't Danielle Harris, so that's okay. I mean, think of how pissed the fan base would be if Danielle Harris was brought back for Halloween 6, and they did let her be in the film after getting emancipated, and then they killed Danielle Harris off as Jamie Lloyd. That would have pissed some people off, but I think Loomis, unfortunate that Donald Pleasance was in poor health, in filming this movie, that they didn't really give him as much to do because of his poor health, because I think he could have put in a better performance, but I still like the performance that he gave. I think the Curse of the Thorn thing was okay. Obviously, it's a little cheesy, but it made sense to give a backstory of how Michael is Michael, and I like that. There's obviously the badass kill of the dad, John Strode. Was it John Strode? I can't remember his name now. The one that has the Strode house, the guy that nobody likes, that was badass. So I like that. But all in all, like I said, I like the movie. I like how it looks. The cinematography is great. Michael Myers is great. The mask is right in this movie. Just Paul Rudd's a little creepy, and I don't really know what to make of him in this movie. So that's like one of the downfalls in it, even though everybody seems to love Paul Rudd. At least he wasn't in Halloween Kills saying Evil Dies Tonight, because that would have been something else. But Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, is my number 4. So we've made it to the bronze medal, the one that comes in at number 3 for me, and I believe this has went down one spot, and that would be Halloween 2. Yes, Halloween 2, the 1980. Is it 81? I used to really like this movie, and obviously I still do. It's my number 3. I know some of the parts are really slow, but I felt that built a lot of tension for me. I enjoyed it. I like the fact that it's focused more on Loomis and the employees at the hospital versus Laurie Strode. I, of course, love Sam Loomis. He's one of my favorite characters in the Halloween franchise. Well, not the Malcolm McDowell Sam Loomis, but the Donald Pleasance Sam Loomis, not Lewis. I like him. He's awesome. A little crazy, but in this movie, he's obviously a lot younger, and he's on his A game for this, and I enjoyed that. Now, I don't necessarily like Michael Myers in this movie, and it's not necessarily Dick Warlock as Michael Myers, but it's the way he walks. I mean, that robotic, slow walk. I mean, a tortoise could get away from Michael Myers in this movie. He's walking so slow. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's just, I don't know. It's like purposely so slow, and they like show how slow he walks in this movie. It's a little annoying. But I'm a little concerned about the guy that when Laurie was hiding in the car, that he goes in the car and then just passes out and falls on the horn, but nothing actually happens to him. Like, I would have liked to have seen him, did he die from blood loss or something when he slipped and fell? I guess that's possible, but, we don't get a lot of Laurie Strode in this movie, and then at the end, Michael Myers is killed until they decided, we better bring Michael Myers back because we want to make more money off this franchise. But I like Halloween 2, although it's down one spot, and that's why that's my number 3. My number 2. I might be canceled for this, because a lot of people are going to be upset about this. You can't be too upset. It's number 2, for crying out loud. I'm putting the OG 1978 Halloween as my number 2. It's up from one spot. I know the movie's good. It looks good, and for its time, it was good. I just find another movie in the franchise, which I'm sure you already know by process of elimination now, is more of a favorite to me than that. Now, I think the movie's a little slow by design, and not a lot happens, and I think that's one of my problems with it. Like, it's, they could have done a lot more. Obviously, I don't think they realized how big this franchise was going to be. If they would have known, maybe it would be a little bit more popular after this movie. Maybe they would have done a little bit more with it. But I guess for what it is, it's good. Donald Pleasance, of course, brings his A game. And Jamie Lee Curtis, I think this was her second best performance after Ends. I don't think a lot happens, and that's probably by design, but I think they could have done a lot more to make it a little bit more faster paced. But obviously, understanding the time period that it came out in, it makes sense. The closet scene, awesome. Memorable scene for sure. I just think they could have done more with it. and it's kind of boring in my opinion. I know, cancel me. I know you're all gonna put Halloween as your number one. I already know. That's why I warned you ahead of time. But Halloween from 1978 is my number two. You already know my number one. You've already process of elimination. My number one is, of course, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Obviously, I love Danielle Harris. I think she's phenomenal as Jamie Lloyd. But this movie had a little bit of everything that was really good. You have Donald Pleasance, I think possibly his best performance. You have, as Dr. Loomis, you have Rachel, who is technically the final girl in this movie. Well, final girls, but she kind of shares the lead female with her foster sister, Jamie Lloyd, and I think she does good. And then they kill her off in Halloween 5, the Revenge of Michael Myers, which I cannot stand that choice, that's for sure. The ending of this movie, excellent ending, with all the townspeople shooting Michael and Michael blowing up. At least we thought he was blowing up. Amazing. Then the end is, Jamie Lloyd killing, or, well, I don't know if they confirmed that she killed, but she certainly stabbed her foster parent, which was pretty brutal. I mean, you didn't see that coming, that's for sure. I just really like Halloween 4, the Return of Michael Myers. It always has been my favorite movie. I don't know, favorite movie of the Halloween franchise, I should say. I don't know what Halloween movie I started with. I don't remember. I'm not sure, but this may have been the first Halloween movie that I watched. Although, it doesn't seem like that should be the case because it came out in, 88 or 89. I would have thought I would have saw Halloween from 78 before that, but I honestly don't remember. But if I did see this one first, then that's probably why this is my favorite one, because I saw it first, and it's just a fucking awesome movie. I think the characters are really good. All the other characters in the movie, I think they're really good. The whole, they're bunkered down at the, Sheriff Meeker's house. Awesome stuff. Michael is brutal in this. The Mask, George Wilbur, I like him as Michael Myers, who comes back for Halloween 6 as well. For almost the whole movie. They have Michael Myers be one other person for a scene or two, too. But I think the Mask is an issue in this movie. So that's one of my main issues, is the Mask. But other than that, I really don't have any other problems with Halloween 4. So that's why that's my number one. So I'm glad that you stayed through the whole video. And I really appreciate that you stayed to the end to watch this entire franchise ranking video. So I'm going to go over the ranking one more time quickly, just in case you forgot one or two or three, or if you're writing them down. Number 13, Halloween Resurrection. No surprise there. Number 12, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Number 11, Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007. Number 10, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Number 9, Halloween 2 from 2009, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Number 8, at the moment, Halloween Ends. Number 7, Halloween H2O, or Halloween 20 Years Later. Number 6 will be Halloween 2018. Number 5, Halloween Kills. Number 4, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Number 3, Halloween 2 from 1981. Number 2, Halloween from 1978. I know, you're upset with that one. And my number 1, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. So, like I said, I know we're going to disagree on a few of them. Make sure you leave your ranking in the comments section. Share this video with anybody that you know that likes Halloween, or put this video on your social media platforms. Smash that like button. And last but certainly not least, I can't stress enough, you're watching the video anyway, so don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.